Greetings, my name is Aurora. Thank you for being here. I am a quantum alchemist and I practice quantum healing, hypnosis through the art of alchemy. And if you want to look into more information about that, I have videos here on my YouTube channel where we go through past life regressions and the clients travel and speak to their higher selves with wisdom from the creator, who is one with the higher self. So check that out. You could also find me on risingphoenixaurora.com and to see what other services I offer, like Akashic reading and guided meditations for children. Thank you for being here. So today's video is upon negative technology and basically how to protect and how to shield and how to surround ourselves with energy to not let us infringe upon our energies, not to let us affect us. So basically how to create force fields around you and how to shield, okay? Now, upon your request, you requested for how to protect against this. Check out that video if you haven't checked it out on negative technology and the different types of negative technology that there is out there that affects us energetically. And specifically the fake God voice technology. I wanted to talk more in detail about that and how as channels and how as spiritual leaders and readers that we're here to anchor love light as light workers to others, how it is that they can affect us. And how, for example, the fake God voice technology can feel, okay? And the reason why I share this with you is because I myself have been through this. Only through experience can we evolve and teach others. And when we find and we empower ourselves, okay, I've gone through this now. I am empowered now. I know how to protect myself. I know how to not be influenced by these type of energies any longer. Now, the fake God voice technology, like I said in the other video, is type of technology that's focused in upon you, that makes you feel like gives you visions and makes you hear voices and so on. Okay, now the reason why this is important is because as a quantum healer, you name it, I've seen it all. Okay, I haven't seen it all because I'm sure there's going to be more that I will see, but however, I've seen much. I have human people that are coming to me who are a strong channel to the divine. And they, for example, are coming to me because now they're in a predicament where they've been channeling energies and they didn't realize that they were negative entities. So I'll give you an example. So again, the reason why I can make this video as far as fake God voice technology is because this type of technology has been used on me, like it is really used on many channels and many mediums as well. And the best way I could explain is that this energy feels like it's kind of like a thought form and a voice that you are only hearing in your mind, okay? This is the simplest way I could put it to you, that you could hopefully understand the difference. So if you're hearing something in your mind and it feels like visions, it feels like a connection to an extraterrestrial being or someone who is posing as a benevolent being, you're going to hear it just as a thought form. Now, if it's someone that's benevolent, that is a benevolent being, you're not just going to hear it through your mind, you're also going to feel it through your heart. Okay, so this is the way you find out the differences. A being that's only going to speak through the mind, and some of their information also might sound like iffy, like at times they might tell you something and another time they'll tell you something like it but a little different. So those are ways that you want to question. You always want to question everything. Just because they're speaking through you telepathically through your mind, it doesn't mean that you have to connect to them and listen to them. So you want to really just read this type of thought form that's coming forth to you. Does this seem like a positive service to others type of thought form, or does this seem like it's a thought form to enhance your negative ego, or to give you information that's incorrect to influence their agenda of keeping, perhaps keeping people unawakened, or keeping the vibrations low on Gaia, because they will try. And the way this type of technology feels, it feels like it's like, let me see if I could explain this. So in a negative way, it would feel like it's pressure on the head, but not in a nice way. Like it's pressure, like trying to push in, okay? And it makes you feel a little uncomfortable. Now, there is a difference though, because there's also positive waves that come through, and they feel electrical, and they also you could feel downloads through the back of your head. That is normal. So really trying to figure out what's what. And if you surround yourself with what we'll be talking about, these force fields, these love light energy, guess what? These entities, these negative technologies like the fake God voice technology, is not going to be able to trick you as easily. You're going to feel that kind of heart discernment, like, there's something off about this voice that's speaking to me. Okay, so there's the difference there. Now, I have had clients that are strong channels of the divine. So because of this, they have been targeted by negative polarized entities, and they've been told, for example, I had a client that was being told that she was going to write a book, and this book was going to be about the truth of history, and what was the actual history in humanity. And she was like, at first she questioned, she's like, what's going on? Is this accurate? And then this being started posing as Archangel Michael, saying that it was Archangel Michael. And he was also knew the way Archangel Michael spoke, some of the words that he would say, how even she was writing, she was doing automatic writing with them. And how Archangel Michael might, in the past, from other channels, might write his letters specifically. So she had researched it, and she was like, okay, I think it is him. So she was writing with them, and she started noticing different things that were happening. Like one day they would say something, and another day they would say that, but in a different manner. She's like, it started questioning, like, wait a minute, you said this the other day. And then these beings, because it was a collective of beings, it wasn't just that being that was posing as Michael. They would be like, they would try to cover their tracks, and then she'd be like, something's going on here. But she continued to channel them, because the information that they were giving her, it seemed pretty interesting. And again, with the other video I made, is to how they'll feed accurate information, but then they'll twist their agenda around to implement negative, important thought forms into humankind. To, for example, you don't have to surround yourself with your own I am source, creator, love, light. Why would anyone ever say this? If this source, creator, light is from your heart center, why wouldn't you want to surround yourself with your own heart center, force field, shield, whatever you want to call it? That's what it is. So she came to me, she was distraught. She was questioning everything at this point. They had really just played a huge amount of mind games with her. And at one point they said that they had, she felt her strong intuition that they had actually harvested eggs from her for a negative agenda on harvesting eggs from, a being, from a divine feminine here on earth. And they took her eggs, and she remembered being in a spaceship, and then how they took her eggs and everything. And she didn't remember too much detail. She just had a knowing that she was there and something was wrong, and she felt like something was taken from her. Like they developed a fetus in her, and then they took it. Okay, so this was just a knowing and an intuition in her. And from there, she questioned, she's like, did you guys do this to me? And then she's like, I'm not going to talk to, because this being supposedly that was Michael brought forth a group that they were channeling her information to write this book. And then so she said, let me speak to Michael, who the entity was posing as Michael. And then he said, oh, you know, I'm so sorry that happened to you. I'm going to bring you other beings. These will be fine. So he brought her another entity that was actually what part of that group, but she felt kind of comfortable with that one because he kind of had a humor. And eventually, again, caught up in lies, it didn't feel comfortable. And it turned out that actually those beings were ended up like catching themselves in their own lies. So they started saying things like, oh, you know, what would you say if we were, you know, mantis beings? What if we were, you know, these type of negative beings? Would you still work with us? And you know, it turned out that that entity posing as Michael was not really Michael. It was another negative being trying to basically get information out to the collective that was inaccurate, first of all, and also really as targeting her as a light worker, as a powerful channel to the divine. So when she came to me, she was distraught. We ended up doing a quantum healing session. We never shared it with anyone. However, we ended up basically unattaching things that they had attached to her. So this is why I tell you that this is serious. Anyone who tells you that this type of possibilities are not possible is not getting quite the information quite accurate, because, and I say this because, again, I see so many different clients that have so many different experiences, and I could be here and I could tell you story after story after story. So today I am teaching you how to shield against and how to surround yourself with this. If you've already watched the I Am Source, how to surround yourself, how to activate your I Am Source light. So this is shields, because we as the Elohim, this is what we do. We give shields. Angels, we protect, we give shields, we give blue shields, we give golden shields. This is what we do, okay? So I hope you find this video, you know, very powerful, because these are techniques that have been taught to me as a priestess. I've been in many lives in Egypt, in Atlantis. These type of memories are coming forth from there, and these are the kind of things that we would do to protect, for example, Egypt, to protect our pyramids, to protect our temples, our sacred temples. We would put force fields around them so that the negative beings who wanted to get this information wouldn't be able to enter. Okay, so basically what's occurring is that you're putting a force field together that is a very high vibration. Okay, so highest vibration that you can carry, or whatever your vessel is ready to carry forth here on your existence on Gaia. Okay, so what happens when you surround yourself with a high vibrational frequency around you? Guess what's going to happen when a negative entity tries to enter in through your force field, tries to connect to your force field? Do you think they're going to be able to get through as easily? Do you think that they're going to infringe upon you as easily? Nope, they can't. Because what happens is, since they are operating at a lower frequency and they try to penetrate a higher frequency, what do you think is going to happen what do you think is going to happen when they push down, when they try to push through that frequency of protection around you? They're going to transmute. Okay, they're going to shift into a higher vibration. This could be deadly to them. Okay, so if they see you and they know that you have these powerful shields around you, do you think they're going to want to be transmuted back to source, to the light? They are not. So this is why this is so important, fundamental in protecting yourself, and also protecting your family, your children, your loved ones, with their higher self's permissions. You can do this as well, surrounding them with the love light energy up until they're big enough and decide if they want to do it or not. Specifically the children. But you know, a lot of the children are already, though, carrying these force fields with them, but not everyone is. depending on their contracts they made coming forth onto Earth. Okay, so I'm going to share a couple different shields that have been shared with me that are beautiful and that are beautiful. Okay, so I also made videos as far as dragons. Negative entities want you to believe that they're evil so that you won't connect with them. Because when we discover the power that we have with our dragon companions, our guardians, we will be unstoppable. And the reason is because the darkness is scared of the dragons because they don't want to be transmuted. Especially with the fire element. They can be transmuted. They cannot be allowed. So check out my video on dragons as well. I am making a series upon it. So some of the dragons that you have with you are actually shields. They're force fields around you. And you can find them within you and they could become force fields around you. So for example, say you have a golden dragon. Now this golden dragon will most likely have ancient sacred alchemy geometry symbols within that actually can become a force field, a bubble around you. And if you talk to this energy, this force field of a dragon, which is a fractal, a dragon is a fractal of you, you are a fractal of them, you are one. You could surround yourself with this protective force field of a dragon shield, okay? But that's one form of shielding, okay? So this is another way that dragons can aid us. Okay, so one of the shields that I was taught right from the very beginning was Archangel Metatron. Archangel Metatron came to me and he showed me his 6-point star, the Metatron cubic star. And he showed me it was purple. And I have an Etsy shop, so he always has me, when I'm creating them with this shield of Metatron. And it's like whenever people purchase them, it has, you know, that Metatron force field, that little shield with them. So it's like you're carrying your own little shield with you wherever you go if you buy a piece off my Etsy shop. I didn't know that at first, but then through a QHHT I had on myself, he was talking about it. So he basically, again, it was giving me this information and I was feeling it in my heart, so I started doing it. So now, so this is one of the shields that he has taught me, is basically you surround yourself in a bubble, a sphere, light, and this bubble has his cubic star, both in the front and the back, right? And you could also put it all around it, in the top and the bottom. However, again, this is information that I'm giving you, and you could do whatever you want with it later. You envision a sphere and it has this star within it, and how many times you want it and wherever you want it. And what it does, it actually, when the negative energy tries to come in, and this is really like sacred alchemy is that we're sharing. When it tries to come in, it will transmute it, but it will also lessen it. So whatever lessons are to come forth will come forth regardless whether you have the shield or not. Okay, so it's up to your higher self. If your higher self decides, okay, she hasn't learned this lesson, and now we're gonna make a, you know, she has this contract, this agreement with this being that's going to be, unfortunately, going to be teach her a harsh lesson of heart discernment. Okay, so that lesson, you can choose to learn it, or you can choose to be like, oh, you know, I don't need to learn that lesson, and not have to do it. And if when you put these force fields around you, it helps in not having to do some of these lessons, and not having to go through the harsh times if your higher self agrees with you. Okay, so what it does, it basically dilutes itself, and the energy, and it won't affect you as much. It will cleanse it. So Archangel Metatron, what he is, the archangel of clearing and cleansing. He can clear and cleanse anything you can think of, with permission of yourself and the higher self. Because again, they need your free will. Benevolent beings will not force upon you their energy or their thought form, only with your permission. Okay, so that's one that is clearing. The same thing, like if you see the number 11, that's Archangel Metatron. Okay, another shield that I've been taught is Archangel Zadkiel has this opalistic crystalline sphere. Okay, it kind of looks like, you could say, opal, the crystal opal. So it's like, you could say, like a clear rainbow type of energy, right? So you can surround yourself, your family, your home, your cars, all of these shields that I'm talking about. This is what you could do with them. You know, when Dolores Cannon was alive, she would surround herself in a pyramid. So you can surround yourself with this force field, and what it does is actually, and then you call upon him and you say, "I'm going to surround myself with this force field. I thank you. I honor you. I thank you. And please protect me against negative technology." And this is another way to protect against negative technology. The harms, the waves of it, the influence of it, so that it won't affect your thought form again as easily. Okay, to not make it as easy. Give it a challenge. So envisioning this within your mind's eye, feeling it, or just knowing that it's around you and trusting it. Now, another force field that I've been taught is through the Phoenix, since I am Aurora and the Phoenix is who I am. I envision a sphere again of fire. Now, this is so powerful. Basically, when you are in a bubble of fire, no negative energy that is going to try to harm you can come in through it, because again, it will automatically transmute. Okay. Now, these shields are not to hold back connections to others, not to hold back, to keep us hidden from the world. They're basically force fields and energies to protect us against things that are out there that want to, that try to harm us, whether it's technology or entities. These will also help you when you are trying to be a channel or a medium or a reader, or even a whistleblower, specifically a whistleblower. If you surround yourself with these type of force fields around you, then you won't feel the attacks as strong. Because as whistleblowers, we tend to be targeted by these negative agenda, these negative entities, and we can very much feel psychically attacked. And again, I talk to you about this because I feel it. I felt it. And I know how to overcome it. And I'm sharing this with you so that you can empower yourself to speak of your truth, to speak of your own, to speak of your own life and the different experiences that you've been through. This is why I am teaching you these methods, so that you can operate in a higher vibration, not having to be worried or fearful, because this is all about awareness and not fear. No fear. This is about an empowerment, that we are powerful creator beings and our thought form is powerful. It is strong. And no one can infringe upon our thought form so long as we not allow it and we don't lower our vibration enough to allow it in. May we operate basically in the heart. If you operate in the heart, then you will know. You will know when you are being, tricked, or you will sense the negative infringement. Okay? However, I honor all roles, as I know that both the role of service to others and service to self is important, because service through self roles, people who play these roles, teach you many lessons and help you see and help you empower yourself after you've learned that lesson. Okay? And another powerful force field is called the Merkaba. The Merkaba is basically what it is, and you can look it up, you could Google it, but it's a a three-sided triangle, but it's also three triangles. It's like three triangles put together, and then the bottom of it is three triangles. So you see the bottom of this is a triangle, right? And then you have one triangle here, and one triangle in the back. Okay, so it's actually four triangles put together, one at the bottom, three on each side. Okay, left, right, or back, however you want to look at it. And then, so there's one pointing up like this, and then there's another triangle the same manner with three sides and one bottom facing down. Okay, so what the Merkaba is basically, so you have your Merkaba at the top, which has your points that add up to 4 points at the top. Okay, and then another one that's facing down that adds up to 4 points at the bottom. So it actually equals the number 8. And this is one of the reasons why it's so important, because it's an 8-sided Merkaba, geometric alchemy symbol, basically. Okay, because the number 8 signifies for infinity, infinitus. So what you're doing is you're creating this force field around you that is infinitum. So with the number 8, Archangel Michael specifically uses this a lot, is he uses the infinity sign a lot. Whenever he's locking something in, whenever he's protecting something, he'll lock it with the infinity sign. Okay, so this is what this Merkaba is. It's like an infinity of a force field. Okay, so you can set that intent again in the morning and as you go to bed, where you have this Merkaba, and the way that you want to have it normally, but again, use your heart discernment. This is just an example. You go with whatever feels right in your heart. But the way that they've explained it to me is that your top triangle, like your top shape pyramid, is spinning clockwise. Okay, so if you're looking at yourself here, it's going to spin clockwise. So what it does is, when it's spinning clockwise, that's your positive polarity. That's the one that you're drawing in energy. You're pulling in divine energy through your crown. That's what you're doing, pulling it in. And then you have your upside down pyramid, what that is spinning counterclockwise. So okay, again, you're envisioning it around you and it's spinning clockwise, top, bottom, counterclockwise. Okay, now the counterclockwise, what it does, it actually repels away any negative energy. It repels it away. And so you have both shapes, both pyramids, one spinning clockwise at the top, one spinning counterclockwise at the bottom. So they're spinning in the opposite direction. And what it does is it creates a balance between your negative and your positive polarity, and it repels away anything that you don't want to have upon your force field, your energetic force field, your auric field, that is non-beneficial. And you would set that intent with it. And anytime you want to set the intent again with any shield or your Merkaba, you always want to state without harming anyone. And the importance to that is, why you want to state without harming anyone is because what can happen is, because we're powerful creator beings, we could draw upon someone else's energy. And we don't want to do that. You want to maintain the karmic energy there, balance. Okay, so anytime you set anything up energetically, state without harming anyone. So now you know you've set up your Merkaba. It's not harming anyone. It's just drawing energy from the top, from your connection to the creator. And then the bottom one is grounding you and repelling away, keeping your lower base chakra balance is what it is. It's like a rainbow, and you can envision also colors within it, like the rainbow. And the bottom one, again, is spinning counter, repelling away what is no longer needed. Okay, for your highest good. So in the future, I will see if there's any more shields that they would want for me to share with you. But again, you can create your own however you desire, whatever color that you want. And the way you want to do it when you're creating these shields is that you want to, it's ideal to light a fire, a candle, basically. Light a candle. What the candle does, the wick of the fire, is it creates an automatic protection energy around you, so that when you're setting up your force field, it is of the highest frequency. Now the candle automatically grabs any negative energy around it, and then it sucks it in and transmutes it into light. So that's why you want to light a white candle is good, blue as well, green, purple, you name it, any color that you want to use to basically, as you wake up, you set that this intent. Today I'm going to have these energies around me, these force fields around me, whatever I want to create of love light around me, I'm going to create these around me, and all day and night. And then when you go to bed, you again light your candle, you set your intent, you envision these force fields around you all night and as you wake up, and you will notice the difference. You will notice that you are not as cloudy. You will notice that your heart center is opening up more so. You will notice that you will stop being so busy in your mind. Busy, busy, busy. You will notice more of a clarification where you will focus upon things that are more important in your life, more higher priority in your life versus the things that are less of a priority, or your worries or your stress or your anxiety. You will focus more on the love around you, and even with your children, you'll be able to actually stop, put your phone down, and you will be able to talk to them eye to eye and not have to be thinking about your job or something else, instead of speaking to the beautiful little light in front of you, your child. So this is ways that that if you surround yourself with your own I am source, creator light, that it could be influential, inspirational, uplifting for you and your family, and a beautiful way to exist in this lower density. And this is why the angels have taught me this to teach you, is that because we are in a lower density of the third and the fourth dimension, we need these type of love light energies around us to aid us, to help us bear the density and the heaviness of this world, and so that we may become a lighthouse, a beacon of light, so that others can see us and awaken their light as well, their beacon of light, like a beautiful grid of light, all connected on earth. Now tell me if you found this video beneficial. Write in the comments how it worked for you, what you were able to imagine, how it felt for you. What kind of differences do you feel now after, say, using it just after one day, after a couple minutes? Let me know how it feels. If I feel that you guys are really loving this information, I'll continue making these videos, but I'll continue making them regardless. It means a lot to know that these videos would be reaching many, and share it with your friends, share it with your family. I thank you so much. From my heart to yours, I love you, I honor you, I thank you, and I respect you. Subscribe, thumbs up, check out my website, risingphoenixaurora.com. Blessings.